We're back.
We did it, Josh. We did it. They said we couldn't do it, but we did it.
2 shows back to back. We are outstanding. We're just unstoppable, right? I don't know.
Unstoppable. We'll be here for the rest of our lives, 24/7, Truman Show style.
Exactly. I'm here for it too, because there's nothing I'd rather be doing than talk about fantasy
with my buddy. My best buddy. Welcome into Fantasy Football Office Hours. We're here to answer any of your questions. We got week 4 questions. You got week 4 waiver wire questions. You got life questions, romantic questions. We need some advice on how you can finish your algebra homework. We got you. Just throw it in the chat. We'll help you out.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. So, listen, I had a question, it's just a random question. It's got nothing to do with anything, but let's just say JL, for example, let's just say you had Chuba Hubbard on your team. Let's just say you spent up, you got him, you have one on your team. Are you starting him over both of the Broncos options, for instance? So there's Melvin Gordon and Javonte Williams. I think they're about in the same range currently. I still have trouble deciding who I want to start between those two. But we got Chuba Hubbard, who we do expect to get most of the work for the Panthers. Are you starting him over Javonte Williams and Melvin Gordon?
Who are the Broncos going up against this?
That is a fantastic question, and they are playing Baltimore, the Baltimore Ravens. And Chuba Hubbard's playing the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, I think I would go with Chuba Hubbard here.
Yeah,
I think it's close though. It is super close. I'm just worried that Dallas, if Panthers didn't have such a good matchup, right? If they weren't going against Dallas, I would say, which, you know what? Dallas has actually been pretty good against the run now that I think about it. But
yeah, it's just they put up so many points that it's like, I don't know if their defense is necessarily good against the run, but
it's just the game script.
Limits the running back attempts that they're actually going to get throughout the game. So you do have to be a pass catching back, in my opinion, to really be successful against them.
And they'll use him that way. So I'm fine starting him. Baltimore is pretty stout. Their run defense isn't fantastic, but I'll go with Chuba. It's close here though.
Well, thank you for helping me out with that. And just like JL just helped out with me right there. If anyone wants to come in, they have any questions that they have, maybe it's a fantasy trade, maybe it's a waiver wire pickup, maybe it's a, should I drop this guy for this guy kind of situation, please let us know. We love helping people with fantasy.
Craig says we need two new subscribers during the show to hit 500. Let's get it done. That would be wild. Josh would take his shirt off. He already promised it. And they said, any sort of questions. If you found Sasquatch in your kitchen one day making you eggs for breakfast, how would he make them for you?
If Sasquatch was making eggs in my breakfast, I got to assume he's not going to have a lot of, tack. He's not going to have a lot of...
He's got, his fine motor skills aren't so great.
Exactly. So that makes me think scrambled eggs. I don't think he can do much more. He's going to be able to, mash them up, add a little milk beforehand, whip it up good. But other than that, I don't know if he's going to be able to keep that yolk fine. So, I'm an over medium kind of egg guy though. So if I can make requests, Sasquatch, please.
Oh, okay. You would walk up to Sasquatch and say, no, I don't like it like that. Redo it. I see.
Exactly.
See,
exactly.
I fully agree with you, Josh. I think he has been, typecast essentially or pigeonholed into making scrambled eggs, and I think he's sick of it. I think if he's in my kitchen, he's most likely going through some midlife crisis, and he wants to make eggs his way. So I think he's going to get a little fresh with it. Over medium. You said maybe over.
I'm
medium.
An over medium kind of guy. That's just my style.
I don't know many egg styles, so.
Yeah, well, there's over medium, there's over easy. That's a little runnier. You got over hard. That means the yolk's all
over
cooked
hard,
up.
okay.
Yeah. You get over easy. It's just there's sunny side up where they're
I
just
bet you
cooking
there's
one
like a
side of it.
whole niche. Like there's like a whole community of egg people.
Kevron coming in
Kev's
saying
in
burnt
there?
up and then saying poached eggs. So there's a lot of ways you can do your hard boiled, obviously.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
Jay said, "What should he have for dinner?" I don't know, man. You have terrible taste, so just eat whatever.
Look, we're talking about breakfast here. Why don't you just make a nice brinner?
Make some over hard eggs. There you go.
No, he's an over medium guy. He said it in the chat there.
Oh, okay.
Now we got a fantasy question.
Okay. All right. Michael Beeson, welcome back in, my friend. He said traded Mike Williams for AJ Brown last week. Feels sort of rough, but still W trade. What do you think, Josh?
It's still a W trade in my mind. Mike Williams has been outproducing pretty much every fantasy wide receiver other than Cooper Kupp, I believe. I think Mike Williams is the number 2 wide receiver on the year. Mike Williams has looked great, but he is in an offense where I feel like he's going to share the target workload. But I believe Keenan Allen and Mike Williams are both top 5 most targeted receivers so far this year. So they're both going to be heavily involved in this offense. Mike Williams' role continues to grow, but I'd rather have AJ Brown, but it's a lot closer than we would have ever expected coming into the season. But I'd rather have AJ Brown, but it's really close. JL might be on the other side here, though.
What do we have? What do we know about AJ Brown's injury?
I don't think we know a ton yet. I don't think we know the severity of it quite. But it's a hamstring injury, so it's week to week. So
gosh,
it's kind of like a Christian McCaffrey situation, right?
That makes it so annoying because it feels still like a W, but man, it's gonna be hard to not pick Mike Williams here. I'm gonna still say it's a W for now, but that might change next week or the week after.
And maybe if AJ Brown did anything so far this year that was like fantasy relevant, where you were excited to kind of see it, I think he has the most drops in the league still. Week 1, he did have a touchdown, but 4 catches, 3 catches, 0 catches in these games. It is disappointing. I'm still taking AJ Brown over Mike Williams.
Though. And you know what? That doesn't matter if this like the outcome of this trade, because your process was right. Trading Mike Williams after week 2 for AJ Brown was the right move. It was the right decision for what we knew. So even if it doesn't pan out, you still made the smart decision.
Yeah, no doubt in my mind. Smart decision. Now it's looking a little scary, but
yeah,
hold out faith.
Jay says, is Peyton Barber worth a pickup? Josh, what do you think about Peyton Barber this week?
Is Peyton Barber worth a pickup? See, we don't know if Josh Jacobs is going to be back. So if you need a running back, sure, he can be worth a pickup. We just saw him go for about, I think he got over 20 carries. He had a great freaking game. And this is the role that Josh Jacobs is going to have when he is healthy. Which makes me really excited for Josh Jacobs because he's a much better talent than Peyton Barber. But while Peyton Barber is there and Josh Jacobs isn't healthy, Peyton Barber is going to be relevant for fantasy. He's going to get a lot of carries as long as the Raiders are winning games. And the Raiders have looked good. So is he worth a pickup? Sure, but
how much fab are you putting down?
I'm not putting down much at all. I kind of expect Josh Jacobs to be back next week. It's not guaranteed whatsoever. I'll put down $1 for Peyton Barber.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Definitely worth the pickup. Maybe put in a $0 trade if you're not, or a $0 bid if you're not that worried, or you could use him. But I don't even expect. I do expect Josh Jacobs to be back. Mike in here. What up, Mike? Welcome in. What do you think of Debo for Amari trade?
Mm-hmm.
Getting Debo, giving up Amari, I'm assuming.
That's what it sounds like. And
we don't know if it's PPR or not. I think I like the Amari Cooper side of this still. We just don't know. Like Ayuk, we really saw the first real appearance of Ayuk this past weekend. And we just don't know how Debo is going to be targeted going forward. Amari, I think we have a little bit more confidence on how he's going to be used. And I think I would still rather have Amari Cooper.
Yeah, it looks like it's a half-point PPR league. Amari Cooper was a little bit limited coming into this game. I know Debo's been outproducing Amari Cooper, but Amari Cooper in that offense is going to be so electric. He had the 39-point week 1. Amari Cooper is the answer here. And it's not extremely close for me because, like you said, Ayuk's going to grow into this offense. I think Debo is a great fantasy asset going forward, but I am absolutely taking Amari over Debo.
Yeah, no disrespect on Debo.
No disrespect at all on Debo.
We are the Debo guys. You and I.
You
first, me later.
I mean, just going into the season when we're comparing Brandon Ayuk, who had a fantastic rookie season, to Deebo Samuel, like they're a lot closer than drafts were showing. That's all there is, That's what it comes down to.
Yeah. Yeah, it shows you that those injury-prone labels really it's overblown a lot in fantasy community. It's definitely an exploitable edge, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You've seen that with Mike Williams now.
I think a lot of people just completely forgot how good Deebo Samuel's rookie year actually was, because he had that injury-riddled season his second year. He's been injured throughout his entire career. So, I'm not using the injury-prone label, but Deebo is a elite I'm going to say an elite talent at the wide receiver position when healthy. So,
yeah, I agree.
I love Deebo.
Michael Aston, assuming AJ is out this week, flex PPR, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Amari Cooper, or Chris Godwin.
Oh my God.
This is so close.
It's got to be Chris Godwin. Chris Godwin's been playing so well. He seems like he's the number one target in that offense, even without, Antonio Brown missed last game and Godwin had a good game. He had a rushing touchdown, I believe. Even when Antonio Brown was in the lineup, Godwin was the most targeted wide receiver. Amari Cooper's great. He's maybe got a little tiny bit more upside than Godwin, but it's close. And CEH, he just had a great week. I love CEH. Maybe he's the safest option, but it's got to be Godwin for me. It's got to be Godwin.
Yeah, I lean Godwin as well. I don't know what's going on with my camera. I'm like super orange all of a sudden.
You look good.
I do.
It looks like you hit that tanning booth. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what's going on. We'll see if I can fix this. But yeah, I would lean slightly Godwin here. I might go. Yeah, Cooper is close. Is probably the closest. They're all like right back to back in my projection. So I'm just going to agree with you, Josh. Whatever you said.
Okay. It's Godwin. It's Godwin. Both JL and I agree. Lock him in.
Yep.
Start Godwin over Cooper and CEH.
Not even close.
Boom, baby.
Albert, what up, my friend? It says, would you trade Allen Robinson for Deandre Swift? Josh, after Allen Robinson had vanished again, I guess. It's not even fair to say that. It's not even fair to say he vanished. The Bears look terrible this weekend. Are you trading Allen Robinson for Deandre Swift?
The absolutely. And it's not even like a case where like, if you need a running back, these guys are pretty. Allen Robinson has looked like crap so far this season. I like him still. I'm still starting Allen Robinson in 95% of leagues. I feel like there's some situations out there. Maybe you have Debo. I'm starting Debo over Allen Robinson next week. But DeAndre Swift looked freaking fantastic against the Ravens last week. And he's looked great all year. Jamal Williams is going to be involved, but DeAndre Swift is a better talent than Jamal Williams. He's receiving so many receptions. He's getting so many targets. It's DeAndre Swift. He's getting more catches than Allen Robinson at wide receiver. It's got to be DeAndre Swift.
Yeah, it's Swift easy for me. I completely agree. I think Swift was being drafted ahead of Allen Robinson in the beginning of the season. And I think that gap's just going to be even bigger now that, I'm not out on Robinson, but at this point it's a wait and see.
Mm-hmm.
If you can get Allen Robinson and plus something, maybe.
Now we're talking.
Now we're talking.
Allen Robinson plus something. You're giving away Swift, plus a lower
or a nice back massage. I don't know. Would you give up if it was your dynasty league? Would you give up
dynasty now?
Give up Swift for Allen Robinson and a massage gun.
That's collusion, JL.
That's not collusion.
I would never do anything like that. that is something outside the realm of your fantasy football league. I cannot accept that offer, JL. And I know what you're trying to do.
I was testing you. I was testing you.
Trying to do here. I have DeAndre Swift in the league we're talking about here. You got Allen Robinson. I'm not making this trade.
I don't have him, but
I have both of those guys actually.
I was gonna say I think you have Allen Robinson
and DeAndre Swift. I just traded. Simon. I just got him from Simon for Nick Chubb.
Oh, yeah.
I got DeAndre Swift plus.
Jay asking, who would you rather start this week? Christian Kirk or Rondelle Moore? That's a fun question every week. It's a fun game we play.
Do you have a coin, Jay?
Get your coin. What do you do with it then, Josh?
We flip it. Christian Kirk is heads. Rondelle Moore is tails. And tails never fails, I've heard. So
tails never
it's
fails.
got to be Rondelle. No, Rondelle Moore still in my mind has a little bit more upside, but he's just not involved with the offense as much as we would have liked. Week 1, he was barely involved, but still produced. He was on the field for like 12 snaps. Week 2, the involvement improved, and he had this big blow-up game. So everyone kind of expected this progression to keep going up and up and up, but it didn't.
It's not
it went
a trend.
back down.
Yeah.
It went back down. It's not a trend. This Arizona offense is going to throw to the open wide receiver, and they run a lot of 4 wide receiver sets, and that includes DeAndre Hopkins, who I'm a little bit concerned about on a targets throughout the year kind of basis. So who am I starting? If I had to start one, Christian Kirk's safer in my mind. So I think I'm leaning Christian Kirk.
Yeah, I am leading. This is gonna depend on your matchup, Jay. So if you feel like you're gonna be down in this matchup, if you are not favored or it's not super close, I might make that decision to go Rondelle Moore, see if I can get that high upside. But honestly, Christian Kirk at this point is just as Christian Cork. He has just as much upside, so I think he also is the safer bet. But it is going to be like that 50-50. I know you're joking, Josh, but that is kind of how it is for what we know right now until we see a broader trend.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of talent, they're both uber talented players. So it's really whoever's going to be getting open, and Christian Kirk is on the field more. So that's why I lean Kirk personally.
Yep. Jay says, no, I don't believe in coins.
He also said nice tan, JL.
Yeah, for my weird color.
Oh, and then Craig coming in here saying, Evan will talk with massages. I'm calling my attorney. Better watch out.
Oh, boy. Dan saying, is Westbrook Akine? Is that how you say it?
I was trying to, I am not 100% sure, but
I feel like he just asked us to try and make this.
Yeah.
Pronounce it.
I would say, Akine. Anyway,
it's worse you trying to work through it than
no. Dan, don't pick him up. Yeah, he had a fine game, but he is not going to be relevant throughout the rest of the season. If he is, you can come give me a slap in the face because I would be so blown.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be probably a lasting problem for AJ Brown. If you do pick him up, I would maybe like a $0 bid just to see what happens, but I'm not pressed to pick him up this week after just 1 week. Mike, are you guys concerned with Julio Jones? Didn't see the field in the fourth quarter. Anything going on that we need to know? Josh, what's your assessment of this?
I'm not concerned with Julio Jones. They got up quickly in this game. I feel like they didn't need Julio Jones in the fourth quarter. He's not the best blocker in the world. And I think that's really the biggest reason Julio Jones wasn't out there. They need him with AJ Brown being week to week with his hamstring injury. Julio Jones is going to be just fine as a wide receiver. Even when AJ Brown comes back, I think Julio Jones has looked great out there. So without AJ Brown, Julio Jones, I fully do expect has a great week next week against the New York Jets.
Yeah, I will say today, I believe it was today, Joe Rexrode from The Athletic did mention that he might have picked up an injury at some point in the game, but I don't know that it's going to be that big of an issue. It doesn't seem like it's going to be anything serious, so definitely not a time to panic, but just keep your eye on it. If we see injury news come out later in the week, then we adjust.
Yeah.
Good question. Great questions today.
Great question.
Chris Verona in here saying, I have Devonta Adams, Cooper Kupp, and Hollywood Brown looking to add Zeke on his to his running back core. Would it be crazy?
Zeke. Okay, that makes sense. I read that as adding Zeke, and then he's like, well,
add someone for Zeke. Okay, I got you. Good clarification.
He wants to add someone. He has Zeke. Okay. He needs a running back too.
Would it be crazy to trade DJ Moore for Deandre Swift? No, I think that's a super fair trade and one that makes sense for your team.
It absolutely makes sense for your team. DJ Moore has been great so far this season. So is DeAndre Swift. If I was in a fantasy draft right now, I'd be drafting DeAndre Swift above DJ Moore. So that answers your question. Yes, I would trade DJ Moore for DeAndre Swift.
Yeah, really good trade.
Yeah, especially with your wide receivers. I hope you have a little bit more depth.
Yes.
I don't know how many wide receivers you start, if it's 2 or if it's 3. If you start 3, I definitely hope you have some depth. But
yeah,
I'm doing it.
But you're likely to get some good bench values to a wide receiver more so than running back. So Hopefully. Dan says, thanks, dudes. Thank you, Dan. Thanks for everyone asking these questions. If you're enjoying this, hit the thumbs up on this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Helps us out a ton. We're here every single weekday, 3 p.m. Eastern time, playing games, talking fantasy, and then we do these office hours right after the stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays to help you with your fantasy leagues every week. So moving on, Ray.
I was just reading this one.
Yeah, welcome in, Ray. He said, should I trade Carson and Tyreek Hill for Nick Chubb, James Robinson, and Allen Robinson, or Tyler Boyd? Full PPR. He has Saquon and Hunt right now, and DJ Moore, Terry, and Sutton at wide receiver. Thanks, guys. Josh, what's your first take on this? What's your first feeling?
My gut instinct just like tells me no for some reason. It's because I would be choosing Allen Robinson over Tyler Boyd, especially because I think Tyler Boyd's big week came because they were a little bit limited at wide receiver. Tyler Boyd will be fine, but I hate his upside. He's a good slot receiver. Allen Robinson, I do envision better weeks to come. But Chris Carson, he's above James Robinson. Tyreek Hill's right there with Chubb. It's a close trade. It's a very even trade. And if you needed 2 running backs, he has Saquon and Hunt. I don't know. I think I'd ride Chris Carson and Tyreek Hill. I would like to know how big this league is too.
Yeah, this feels like a move where I would suggest don't get too cute with it, right? Like this is a move that could pan out, but the likelihood, in order for it to work, you got to hope that James Robinson is still going to put out numbers like he did this past week for the rest of the season, and that Urban Meyer acts rationally there. And Tyler Boyd's a little safer in my mind, not as high as upside versus Allen Robinson is the opposite of that. But
who are you taking? Allen Robinson or Tyler Boyd? I'm putting you on the spot. Rest of the season, make a decision. If you're
Allen Robinson,
you got to take okay, me too.
For upside, for sure. Tyler Boyd is going to be a great value, I think. In fantasy.
We just saw Allen Robinson. I mean, we've seen throughout his entire career, he's had crappy quarterback play and has produced. I do think it's coming.
The pressure is on now, right? All this bad publicity this week for the Bears, for Matt Nagy. You're going to start to see that pressure get put onto Nagy to start putting Fields in or using him this way or that way. We see it every single time the situations like this arise. And we're going to start to see it eventually.
It's a 10-man league, by the way. He just came in.
10-man league. Okay. Even more so, I don't want to make this trade then because the depth doesn't matter as much. I would much rather have the better players.
Yeah. Your starting lineup, I think, is taking a hit in making this trade. Your starting lineup having Saquon, you throw, Hunt, Kareem Hunt in your flex, and you still have Chris Carson, Kareem Hunt. They're both going to be extremely usable option. And Tyreek Hill is by far the best wide receiver in this trade. Chubb's a great running back, but yeah, I'm keeping Carson and Tyreek Hill in a 10-man league.
Yeah. Good question, though.
Great question.
And he says, yes, he has Juju too. Yeah, so you're probably good.
To the previous question. Yeah. So you do have wide receiver depth. I like Juju. He's great in a PPR league. He's going to get a lot of catches throughout the season.
Yep. Craig says one more subscription to 500.
$4.99. Come on.
And then Scott said $4.99 subs. And then he unsubbed and subbed to be 500. How does that work? So someone else came in, was 500, and Scott Fish is just pushing them out of the way to take credit. I see. And he said, what do you win? Perfect. You win a very special one-on-one dinner with Josh, all on Google Meet. You got to be socially distant, but it's candlelight.
I will send you the ingredients that you need to make your dinner.
And then ship to Josh. And then you're both going to eat it at the same time.
You're going to make it, send it to me, and then we'll schedule this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's going to be perfect.
Because if not, I unsub again. Well, now you can't because you won the best prize of all. All right. Oh, Cash is Stylist in here. Welcome back, Cash. Good to see you. Would you all trade Barkley and Tyson Williams for CMC PPR 3-0, and the guy who has him is 1-2?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I need to know your other running backs, to be completely honest with you. Do you have 2 running backs that you feel comfortable putting into your lineup before Christian McCaffrey gets back? I expect he's going to miss 2 more weeks. If I had to put an over under on it, I'd put 2 weeks. So I mean, 3-2, you'll still be fine. I really hope you have at least one other very good running back
I'm not making this trade. The risk, in my opinion, is just it's too great. This is going to come down to how you like to play fantasy.
Hold on,
right?
He just came in. Other running backs are Aaron Jones, Monty, and Damian Harris. Make the trade.
Oh God, that makes it so much worse.
It does. It makes it a lot more tough.
Here's my thinking though: is that I feel like Barkley. Like, what's the difference between Barkley and CMC? Like, there's definitely a healthy CMC, a healthy Barkley. There's still a considerable gap, I think, in terms of fantasy, just because of the offenses they're in. But CMC with the hamstring, I don't know. I don't know then how much better he is than Barkley. I think I would just stick with Barkley and Tyson Williams. I think I would not try and get crazy with it, because if it doesn't work out, that sucks. Even though you have tons of depth, I don't even think you need. Like, CMC would give you an edge, but that sucks. I think you can maybe also get
well before he got hurt. I know the injury is scary. It's scary, but CMC's a league winner. If you can make the playoffs with him and healthy,
you might be able to make this with a healthy CMC. You might be able to make this trade, honestly. So I would probably wait.
You're not incorrect.
Depending, as long as obviously Tyson Williams doesn't implode and Barkley doesn't start playing like really badly.
Hey, by the way, I put out a video last week saying Barkley's going to be a top 12 running back this week, and he was.
Nailed it. Nailed it, Josh.
I guaranteed it.
Guaranteed.
It wasn't pretty, but he did it. He was a top 12 running back.
Ray said he has Herbert and Pitts also, but Pitts hasn't woken up yet. God, don't get me started. So frustrated. Stupid Falcons.
He'll wake up. He'll have better weeks to come, but it's
a sleepy boy
owning Pitts right now. Yeah, he's just got to open his eyes.
Chris said, in full dynasty, how much longer do I spend the taxi spot for the Trevor Lawrence experience?
When you say full dynasty, I super flex or not super flex is the big question I have here. It's a taxi spot, so like you're not wasting anything in my mind. I hang on to him.
Yeah, you have to at this. Like, he's going to be better. Don't take this, these few games as what Trevor Lawrence can be at all. The offense, the way the coaches are running, the way Urban Meyer's running it's not good. It's honestly, it's so similar to Justin Fields' situation too, where I don't really feel like it's indicative of these quarterbacks' talents. Trevor Lawrence, I have watched every single one of his games in college, being a Clemson fan, and he isn't playing up to his talent, but also that, like, he's so good. It'll right itself. So hold on to him.
Yeah.
And redraft is a different story, but
yeah. I'm with you there.
Cash brought up Barkley's offensive line is also scary though. That's the entire offense is definitely worrisome on the Giants there. But I trust his talent and the opportunities he's going to get, even in a bad offense. He's been able to make very, very good fantasy seasons out of being in that same offense.
Yeah. Real fast, someone reached out to me recently. Mm-hmm. Appreciate the input.
Thanks for the questions, Cash. Yeah, no, we appreciate all the questions you come in. You always come in with the heat.
Someone offered me. He's trying to unload Chuba Hubbard. I have Christian McCaffrey in this league, and my running back depth is not great. Mike Davis will be my second running back. I have Joe Mixon, Christian McCaffrey, and Mike Davis as my top three running backs essentially right now. He's offered me Chuba Hubbard. Are you willing to give up someone like a combination of like Laviska Shenault and like Trey Sermon for Chuba Hubbard?
Would I give up those players for Chuba Hubbard?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. No, because again, Chuba Hubbard to me is like, this is an opportunistic situation where as soon as CMC comes back, he's not going to have the same value. Now, I think he will be more value than he was because he's getting a chance to showcase his talent in front of everybody and people are going to see that. But in terms of the NFL, I don't know. Running backs aren't valued as much, especially the ones with lower draft capital. I would rather have Laviska Shenault. I think he'll be better. And you're talking dynasty, right?
Oh no, this is a redraft.
This is redraft. Okay.
Yes. Sorry. No, that does change. If it's a dynasty league, I would never.
I don't know why I assumed dynasty. It didn't really make sense. Sorry.
I would never consider this in a dynasty league. So would you trade Trey Sermon for Chuba Hubbard?
Oh God, that trade is actually so ugly.
I know, right?
Trey Sermon for Chuba Hubbard. Yeah, yeah.
If you needed a win, I'm definitely doing that. I'm 3-0 in this league, so I don't know if I need Chuba Hubbard. I think I might just try to ride out the storm, and
Trey
not give
Sermon.
up too much.
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do with Trey Sermon. I can't tell what Shanahan
Yeah.
what the trend is gonna be with him, especially once Elijah Mitchell's back. So I probably wouldn't make that trade.
Really, the question comes down to is like how much of a better play is Chuba Hubbard over Mike Davis, in my mind, and he's definitely a better play.
Better play for sure.
If I feel like I need to win
Dallas.
it, I'm gonna look into it some more. If I feel like I need to win this matchup this week, I'm willing to make that trade. I'm willing to make it, but I'm still a little nervous.
Yeah, I think it's a perfectly fine trade, honestly. I think that's why it's tough to answer here. Ray asked, I had another offer, Jonathan Taylor and Mark Andrews for Chris Carson and Scary Terry. I declined it and got a bunch of backlash opinions. Thanks, guys. Jonathan Taylor and Mark Andrews for Chris Carson. Why did you get backlash?
So I'm gonna just break it down real fast. So he'd be receiving Jonathan Taylor and Mark Andrews for Chris Carson and Terry. That's what it seems like. I would like to know what your tight end position looks like, first of all. But Chris Carson, Jonathan Taylor, at this point in the season, they're pretty dang close to me. I'm taking Jonathan Taylor over Chris Carson, but then we move on to the next part of this trade. It's Mark Andrews and Scary Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin, I feel like, has more value overall than Mark Andrews. But if you really need a tight end, this is a extremely fair trade. Yeah, I don't know why you're getting backlash.
And it makes no sense why you would get backlash. You run your team how you want it. And also, like, yeah, it's not like it's unfair and you declined it. So who's giving you backlash for declining a trade?
Like, what are you talking about? How could you decline this? Like,
is it the person who's offering you the trade is like, wow, like I'm giving you so much and you didn't take it? Is that the backlash? In which case, you're playing with bad league mates. He's trying to like manipulate you into thinking you're missing out here. Yeah, this is a super fair trade. It's going to depend on your team or and which side you like better, honestly.
Well, he's coming in saying he has Pitts. So Pitts is going to have better weeks to come, man. So like,
yeah. And Mark Andrews is going to fluctuate. I would probably keep Carson and Terry McLaurin here.
Yeah, me too.
Let's see. Albert saying Bengals defense versus Jaguars or Titans defense versus Jets this week. Yes.
Bengals defense versus Jaguars or Titans versus Jets.
What do you think, Josh?
Titans defense versus the Jets for me.
Yeah. They're not doing well.
Yeah.
Scott Fish said, oh, go ahead.
I just have a little bit more faith in both the Titans defense and both the Jets offense being bad.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Scott said, Josh, just send him $35 Yeah. That's all you got to do.
Maybe I can make something like that happen. I could probably make something like that happen.
And Ray agreeing with the Titans defense for sure. Mike asks, who's the better play this week between T. Higgins, Cortland Sutton, Amari Cooper, Julio Jones, and ouchie DeAndre Hopkins? 2 wide receiver, 1 flex, half PPR.
So who's the better play? So are you asking us to fill all 3 positions, I'm assuming? Or, I mean, that's what I'm assuming. So if we're filling all 3 positions, DeAndre Hopkins, I know you said ouchie, you're putting him out there. He's just so talented. I'm a little concerned that this Cardinals offense is just going to spread the ball around a lot, but you got to start DeAndre Hopkins. After that, it's Amari Cooper for me. And then I think I'm going with Julio Jones there, actually.
Yeah, I agree. Nuke and Amari Cooper for sure. And then Cortland Sutton. Let's see, who is he going up against? He's going up against Baltimore. It's a home game. Pretty low total there. Yeah, I think I'll be with you. Barring this injury news doesn't develop more. I think Julio, yeah. Yeah, I'm with you, Josh.
And T. Higgins just is coming off an injury. He missed the game himself. Yeah. Cortland Sutton had such a disappointing week last week in a weird game script for him. He'll bounce back. But Julio Jones without A.J. Brown, I'm feeling pretty good about Julio. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So definitely DeAndre, definitely Amari, and then it gets a little closer, but it's Julio for both of us.
Yeah. Brad saying that's silly. Carson's just so good. Terry's a high-end wide receiver. Why do that deal in a redraft sense? Because you can just ride it out even if your tight ends are weak. Stream tight end. Exactly. Yeah. If your league mate, give us some clarity around why they're bashing you, and we'll tell you how to roast them. Let's see. So the other trade. Okay, so
there's one before
sorry,
that,
yeah, I'm skipping around here. Some pending trades I have. What do you guys think? Non PPR, Zeke, Hawkinson, and Jamar Chase for Kittle, Kamara, and Robert Woods.
No, I don't. So we'll break it down real fast. Man, so Zeke and Kamara, they're pretty close, you would say. Maybe I'll give the edge to Kamara.
Yeah. Yep.
Kittle and Hawkinson, they're pretty close. I don't even know who I'm giving the edge to.
Yeah, it's that you make an argument either way.
And then it's Jamar Chase and Robert Woods. Who are you taking there? Yeah,
Jamar
me too.
Chase. Yeah.
So it's so close. It's such a super close trade. It's like weird because it's like you're just giving like a top tier tight end, a top tier running back for a top tier running back, and then Robert Woods and Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
I'm a lot more concerned for Robert Woods than Jamar Chase. Yeah, I'd rather have Kamara than Zeke by a smidge. Maybe I'd rather have Kittle, but he got a little hurt. I'm going with the Jamar Chase out of this trade.
Yep, same. It's not that close for me because of that gap between Chase and Robert Woods. Good question. Yeah. So the other one he sent is Zeke, David Montgomery, and Trey Lance. Assuming Trey Sermon. That makes more sense. To an 0-3 team that has CMC, Mixon, non-PPR, Zeke, David Montgomery, and Trey Sermon for CMC, Mixon.
I don't understand what's going on. Are you trading Zeke, David Montgomery, and Trey Sermon for CMC and Mixon?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's it. It's a little more interesting. Yeah, that's a little bit more interesting. I still don't know that it like helps your team that much more. And
we just talked about this. I think I'm a little bit higher on Christian McCaffrey and obtaining him as a high-win team than you. I want to get Christian McCaffrey. I think you should trade for him if you are like a 3-0 team.
Yeah.
And Mixon, I'm a huge Mixon fan. Mixon over David Montgomery and Trey Sermon for me, for sure. So I'm willing to make that trade.
It's fair. That's fair. Yeah, it is close for sure. Let's see. Yeah, he said, okay, we already got to that one. Let's see. Jalen Hurts and Trey Sermon for Russ. The guy has Lamar and Russ. Sheesh, non-PPR. Super flex, I'm guessing, or non-super flex?
It doesn't matter because like the guy is Lamar and Russ. So
no, I would just stick with Jalen Hurts and I would probably just stick with Jalen Hurts and Sermon.
It really matters if it's a super flex for me.
It really does, yeah. Non-super flex.
In a super flex, Russ is an upgrade, you know? It's non-super flex.
If you're good at running back, then actually I might make this trade because Sermon worries me. So you could just take the shot that Sermon's not going to work out. And then you get a free upgrade from Jalen Hurts to Russ.
Jalen Hurts looked so bad last night.
He did look very bad, but he's got the rushing floor.
Yeah.
But so do the other guys.
So is Russ.
I know, but yeah. Are you giving it up?
He's not quite as much of a running quarterback as Jalen. It's going to be.
What if it was for Lamar? Would you make that trade?
Oh yeah.
Same. Yeah. Jay asking, is the Panthers defense an every week start regardless of matchup?
There aren't many defenses that are every week starts, and I am not ready to put the Panthers in that category. Hell no.
Yeah. I think I'm right there with you. Trying to just look up what their schedule looks like going forward.
Yeah, I mean, so they got Dallas. I don't even want to play them against Dallas.
Yeah, Philly, yes.
We're starting this next week. So no, they're not an every week start, regardless of matchup for me.
After that, their schedule is pretty nice. So you probably won't have to really face this decision too often because
are they a defense I want at this point? Yes.
Yeah.
But again, there's just even the top tier defense, the Buccaneers and the Rams, like, are they every week starts regardless? I'm not so sure.
Yeah. Completely agree. Let's see here. Trying to follow this guy. I'll quit blowing up the feed. But one more question. I have Saquon, Carson, Kareem Hunt, Tyson Williams, and Javonte at RB. Tyreek Hill, Terry McLaurin, DJ Moore, I'm assuming, and Cortland Sutton. at
wide receiver.
I feel weak at running back. What are your thoughts? Saquon, Chris Carson, Kareem Hunt. You are not weak at running back, friend.
You're not weak at running back.
You're not weak at running back. No, your team is fantastic.
You have to be above average at running back in your league with this squad. You have 2 locked and loaded starters week in and week out with Saquon and Carson. Kareem Hunt, we just saw the week he put together. Even with Chuba on the field, he is worthy of putting in your lineup. And then you have 2 great guys, Tyson Williams and Devonta, who are up and comers, who we don't quite know what they're going to be throughout the season. But I want them on my fantasy teams, and I'm very excited.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way. You are most likely gonna win this league, and it sounds like they're getting a little worried. Ray said, "You guys are a fantasy cheat code. Appreciate the time. Thanks for coming with the questions, man. We really appreciate it. We love it. We love helping." Yes. Carlos saying, Carlos Rodriguez in here. What's up, Carlos? Saying, my wide receiver in a tough spot: Cortland Sutton, Julio Jones, and Claypool. Which 2 do I start? Josh.
Yeah, I think we're gonna I mean, this is gonna be really close. Like I have a league with Cortland Sutton and Julio Jones myself, and I am making a call quite similar to this, and I'm starting Julio Jones at this point. With AJ Brown out, I think he's gonna have a lot of targets. Cortland Sutton's look great. KJ Hamler just tore his ACL, which maybe gets him a little bit more targets, but I'm going Julio Jones.
Yep, I'm going Julio Jones and Sutton. Yeah, 2. Which 2 do you start?
2? Oh, yeah. So I think Deontay Johnson could be back. Juju Smith-Schuster is back. If both of those guys are not back, I put Claypool in over Julio.
Yeah, same.
Both of those guys aren't playing.
He's going against Claypool, that is going against Green Bay this week, which might be a little tougher, but yeah, I'm right there with you, Josh. All right, let's see.
And I said put Claypool in over Julio. I meant Sutton because I'm starting Julio over Sutton, by the way. But I'm willing to put Claypool in over both those guys, I think. If both Juju and Deontay Johnson are out.
Yep.
So there's some ifs here.
I'm aligned right there with you, Josh. Brad saying, do you trust Hurts? Hurts will stay their QB1 this year. They are so bad with him. Minshew season. I think they'll stick with Hurts. If the rest of the season goes like last night, then no. I don't think it will. I don't think it will. So I think he will be. He's been good enough, and he has shown us that he has talent. But yeah, he's not like as well rounded. We knew that, coming into the league. Like Jalen Hurts was not as desired as he is now coming into the league. He lost his spot in Alabama to Tua, and I think that made him take a hit to his draft capital and stuff. So, but he has talent. He's just not as well rounded. So,
yeah, I'm with you. It Hurts in my mind should be the starter for the Eagles all year, and it shouldn't even be a question with Gardner Minshew.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And Ray saying, you are solid at running back. Yeah. Listen to Brad. Brad is hella smart. If you don't already follow him, go follow him.
Oh yeah, definitely follow Brad. Brad's the man. But this next question is exciting for me.
I'm looking for a backup wide receiver and see Darnell Mooney and Jacoby Myers on the waiver wire. Which do I pick? I think Josh is going to say Mooney. I'll just answer for him. He's going to say Darnell Mooney. He says Jacoby Myers is poo-poo dumbhead.
No, it's Jacoby Myers for me, especially if this is a PPR league. He has been peppered with targets. I actually did a quick little video about him. I was saying you should go get him today, because Jacoby Myers has been again, there's only 10 other wide receivers in the NFL. And if I read you those guys' names, you'd be like, someone doesn't belong here. And it's Jacoby Myers, because the 10 wide receivers with more targets than Jacoby Myers are like guys you would expect to be there. And then there's like Jacoby Myers, and you're like, oh, look at this guy. He's going to, and with James White getting hurt, he's only going to be more involved in that short area passing game. Mac Jones loves to throw those quick passes. They're accurate. And Jacoby Myers is going to be the beneficiary here.
Yeah, I think Darnell Mooney's value could rise. He might be worth stashing, but it's not going to be like this week or next week. It's going to totally depend on whether they're able to start actually using Justin Fields the right way. So he's worth it for that, but I would take Jacoby Myers. He's valuable right now. So.
Yeah, Jacoby Myers, like he's been producing, like especially in a PPR league. That's got to be a qualifier.
Targets are there,
really scoring a ton. The targets are there, and he's catching
9 targets.
He's catching them.
He is, yeah. 9 targets in week 1, 6 targets in week 2, 14 targets in week 3.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Even as they just got manhandled by New Orleans, he's still got 14 targets. Yes. Good question. Really good question, Carlos. LeBron's brain says, should I trade Hines? Nyheim Hines, I'm assuming.
I'm assuming it's Nyheim Hines.
Or Hines ketchup for Higgins. Is that T. Higgins? There's no other.
It's got to be. It's got to be T. Higgins, right?
And whenever it's just one name,
yes.
Yeah. Oh. LeBron's, do it now if you can.
No, I think he got like Nyheim Hines' first name because there's like an I before E situation in Nyheim Hines going. Nyheim.
Okay.
You know, so
okay.
Honestly, I'm gonna say this was just clever on LeBron's brain's part. He's just making a clever little pun there, but it's Higgins all day. T. Higgins.
Oh my God. Hines. Yeah, 100%. Make that trade. And Brad saying, remember that Big Ben is their QB, and he's looking pretty well done. Just saying, he is not looking good, and it's a really great point. It is. I still think they'll find ways to get Claypool involved. That's how they use Claypool, right? He's not gonna. That's
how they use everyone because Ben Roethlisberger can only throw 10 yards.
Yeah. 14 personnel in here saying his cousin D. Higgins. Oh, in that case, Hines catch up for D. Higgins. I think I'll take D. Higgins.
I'll take some ketchup.
Ketchup?
Put my fries in it. We're good to go.
Disrespectful. I was saying Myers. Or also on the wire, Emmanuel Sanders. Oh, what do you think, Josh?
It's an easy one for me. It's
Jacoby
Myers, and it's really not that close.
Yeah.
Emmanuel Sanders just had that big week, but I don't think it's going to be consistent, and I think Myers is going to be consistent.
Yeah, I guess now that I think about it, I mean, just targets-wise. Yeah. Just targets-wise, it makes sense to go Myers here.
Maybe Emmanuel Sanders has the slightest bit more upside, but I don't know. I still think Myers has enough.
No,
because
Myers.
it's a powerful
clearly
offense.
Miles.
Yeah. Especially in a PPR league. I got to keep saying that Myers is so much better. He's one of those wide receivers that, like, you want a PPR league in a standard league, I'm probably going to be avoiding him.
Yeah. All right. Good questions.
Great questions.
Oh, you muted yourself, Josh.
I just said as always,
As always. Asshole-ways.
Asshole. Okay.
All right. Well, there's no more questions. We're going to wrap up Fantasy Football Office Hours. Thank you guys for coming in with your questions. Good luck getting your waiver wire bids in. I hope you all win. And we'll be back Thursday for Fantasy Football Office Hours right after our 3 p.m. stream, which is every single weekday. If you haven't watched it, we play games. We talk all games that are built around fantasy football. So we're goofing. We're playing, what's the game shows? I could not think of the term game show for some reason.
Yeah, game shows.
We say like popular game shows, Jackbox games. We make them about fantasy football, talk fantasy, give advice, all that. So tune in every weekday, 3 p.m. Eastern time. We're there.
Hold on. I'm seeing
you got a couple more questions come in. So we'll wrap up.
I like this one. I'm going to hit this one fast.
Do it.
It's Deluxe Crane G, please.
Deluxe Crane plays.
Krang. Devonta Adams for Cooper Kupp and Darren Waller. I am taking the Cooper Kupp and Darren Waller side of this trade. And I love Devonta Adams. He's looked great.
Oh, yeah.
The last 2 weeks, but it's Cooper Kupp and Darren Waller here, right?
Yep. Yeah. It's an interesting trade for sure. Especially after that week. But I'm going to try and take advantage of that because Cooper Kupp has looked fantastic and Darren Waller's Darren Waller.
It's got it. Cooper Kupp is outscoring Devonta Adams on the season. No, I think Devonta Adams is. They're very close. I think Cooper Kupp
after last night it might be different.
I think Cooper Kupp still got him.
Okay, he was ahead of him for sure.
So yeah, if we were doing a draft, let's just say we were doing a draft. I love taking it back to a draft. I'm gonna draft Devonta Adams ahead of Cooper Kupp still, but it's gonna be close. They're gonna be kind of almost in the same round or the same 12 range of picks, maybe
over Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, I'm drafting Devonta Adams over Cooper Kupp.
You're saying that they're close in rounds? I guess
I'm just saying they're super close. And then you throw in Darren Waller. I'm taking that value, the Darren Waller value on top. Let's go.
Yeah, I think you can make the case that you draft Darren Waller over Devonta Adams, depending on your league.
Yeah, in a tight end premium league, you could definitely make that case.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'd have trouble doing it.
You would?
Yeah, Kelsey, I'm taking.
That's fair. Carlos Rodriguez, you guys have worked out so many amount of doubts. Thank you, man. Great questions.
We got you.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Craig, I hate you. Any deep defensive tackle waiver wire ads? You tell us. You and Brad tell us.
Brandon Williams.
That's a good guess. That would be his name. That would be someone's name.
No, he's a defensive tackle, but he's not getting a lot of tackles.
All right. I think that's going to do it for us today.
Trading makes fantasy fun.
It does.
Let's go.
All right. We will see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.